Yes.
Yes. Um, and something else that I'll talk about is the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I say the game, yes, athletic game,
Mm-hmm.
playing basketball. And you might have heard this terminology. If not, I might
Yeah.
be teaching
Yeah.
you something today in the classroom. But I learned at an early age playing basketball that you have to play the game outside of the basketball court, the
Mm-hmm.
football field.
Mm-hmm.
What is that, Bree? What are you talking about? Well, you have to shake hands with babies,
Mm-hmm.
right? You
Mm-hmm.
have to be nice and respectful to your fans,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to treat the janitor like you would treat the
The CEO.
CEO.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of 8 Plus 1 The Classroom.
Woo!
My name is Charles Nzali. Today we're not at Plex Spot, we're in Lee Summit, in a really nice house in Lee Summit. We're at Bre Dayton's house. If you don't know Bre, Bre is an award-winning realtor, a celebrated realtor. Bre is Bre played college basketball, an athlete, uh,
That's right.
an amazing businesswoman. Uh, the goal today is just to get to know Bre, understand her journey, how she got to where she is, her determination. Usually, when we see winners, we just see the win. We don't understand what goes into the preparation, what made them who they are. So today, we'll get to know Bre. Personally, this is maybe my third time meeting her.
Yep.
So I'm gonna get to know her more, and then hopefully all of you will do the same.
Absolutely.
Bre, I'll say welcome to 8 Plus 1 The Classroom, but I say thank you for allowing us to
Woo!
use your house as a classroom.
No, thank you for having me. Listen, it is an honor to be able to sit down with you right here today in the classroom. And this is a lovely, beautiful classroom.
So
So
yeah,
thank you for having me.
I appreciate that. That's big. First of all, I want to say let's start from the beginning, right? Let's start from young Bre growing up. How was that experience for you?
Um, I've always been very well off,
Mm-hmm.
very fortunate. Grew up in a two-parent household.
Mm-hmm.
Mom, dad, they both went to college, graduated with business and finance degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had a very nice
Mm-hmm.
upbringing, and they molded me to be this wonderful person that I am today, this businesswoman, this leader that I am today. So I'm a middle child. I have two sisters, Bailey and Brittany, and so if anybody is a middle child, we're nobody's favorite, right? You know,
Yeah.
you got the baby that's mom and dad's favorite, and the oldest who can do no harm, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's a middle child of joy, right? So that's a little bit about me and how I grew up, and being a middle child, you would understand the reason why I move the way I move,
Mm-hmm.
because I've always had to work harder. I
Mm-hmm.
felt like, so that's a little bit about my upcoming.
Yeah. One thing I can say about you, right? And I don't really say this a lot of people for a lot of people, right? You are a really solid human being. When I say solid, I mean you're very. It's like you don't move according to everybody else. It, it seems like it, you move when it's perfect for you, and that is a character that I personally struggled with early on, but as I grew to understand that more and more, I appreciate people who execute it to the smallest d,
Mm-hmm.
and I can tell that just from dealing with you.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a character that I admire a lot in people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Timing is everything. Timing is everything. You don't want to move prematurely. You don't want to not move at all because you become stagnant and miss out on the right opportunities. But perfect timing is everything. I know you reached out to me about a year and a half ago or
Mm-hmm.
so,
Mm-hmm.
asked if I would sit down here, and I waited. I responded. I said, hey, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when I'm ready. And just out of nowhere, right,
Yeah.
I literally messaged you and I just said I'm ready.
Yeah.
And thank you again for waiting, for your patience. I believe that all of my steps are ordered by God, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very intentional woman. I knew now more than ever it was time to reach back out to you. Number one, you don't miss out on opportunities. They become more expensive later. I didn't want to miss out on an opportunity to be able to sit down with a legend right here in the making, right? To be able to tell my story, to be able to encourage, inspire, and so forth. So thank you for responding when I reached out to you and moving quickly. And so I, without a doubt, I know that this is going to be a phenomenal
Yes.
interview
Yes.
and a
Most
classroom
definitely.
session. So thank you
Most
for having
definitely.
me.
Most definitely. I understood that you didn't have to do this. Just to be honest, on a really, you didn't have to sit down with me, because when you said yes, I went back and tried to find interviews of you, right? I can't find much. I can't find
Didn't
nothing.
find any.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so you don't have to be like, okay, I'm gonna be interviewing with you. I mean, definitely you didn't owe me that. So when you decide to do it, it's at your own time. I grew to understand that, and I grew to also respect people's timing. I mean, who am I to be like, hey, I messaged you a year ago. I need you right now. Come on. And it's not that. And also, I don't want this to be about me. Okay, this is about you. So I want you to be able to. I want to be able to get people get to know you, and also appreciate your journey a lot.
Thank you.
You see what I'm saying? So here you are, two-parent household. Mom is doing well. I seen mommy's house. That's a whole nother story.
Thank you.
That's a whole nother story for
Doing
another
very
day.
well.
Yeah. So you grew up with that, but you never really. It don't look like you have let the I
The
got it
lifestyle.
all, the life, or got it all
Deteriorate me.
deter you from being a go-getter. Cause you played college basketball.
Correct.
That is not something you get to without hard work. So I want us to let's talk about the
Okay.
grind,
Okay.
right? Because that is something that a lot of people talk about when I reach out to people to just to get information about you. All I had is work.
Yep.
You gotta be if you dealing with her, it's work.
You gotta be on your toes.
So
Yep.
let's talk about the basketball journey for you first, right?
Love it.
High school, college. Let's talk about that. How was that with you?
Yeah. First of all, I'm honored and I'm very impressed that you did your research on me to even know I played basketball. Many don't know that, so thank you for doing your research on me. Yeah, so I grew up, played basketball, high school, AAU basketball, college basketball, semi-pro basketball, and also professional basketball. I played on all those different levels, and on all those different levels, I learned a lot. Something that I've learned through it all is there's no substitution for hard work. There's absolutely not. And what you do in the dark comes to light, good or bad, indifferent. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. And one of my favorite quotes is, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Yeah.
The reason why it's one of my favorite quotes now is I was always the person that just was talented but didn't put in the work. So talent, natural God-given talent, has brought me to many spaces, many places with the game of basketball. My daddy played college basketball, and so naturally I was born with some of God-given abilities to be able to play handle the rock really, really well. But a lot of people started passing me up, meaning a lot of players started to become better than me because they was putting in their work that I wasn't. I was putting in the work enough to get by, but I really wasn't digging and grinding. So I learned the hard way, seeing my peers pass me up, and that put a grind in me like no other. And I started to play catch up and putting in that work. Because again, there's no substitution for hard work. You got to put in the work. You just have to. And so translating that to business, basketball has taught me so much about who I am as a competitor, who I am as a teammate, as a leader, as a person. And you just got to put in that work, man. You just got to.
Yeah, and it. Man, I love your maturity.
Oh, thank you.
It's not too many people who will sit back and say, "I didn't put in. I didn't feel like I put in enough work." Right. It takes a lot of. You got to be okay with where you are, in order to be like, yeah, you know what? If I had done a little, if I had known that
What I know now.
what I know now, it would have been
Yes.
a different story. People don't want to admit. People, we shine light on the glory,
Yeah.
but on the shortcomings, we almost try to
Quiet.
ignore it,
Ghost.
like it never happened.
And it happens a lot.
Yeah, and it happens a lot. That's so. In recent years, right? There's been a trend that is very true throughout the whole world, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a keen follower of sports. I follow basketball, soccer, American football.
You name it.
The only sports I don't know much about is baseball, right? But there's not too many athlete interviews that I did not watch, right? Because I see athletes are becoming very successful entrepreneurs all around the world, right? We've seen basketball players owning soccer teams in Europe, right?
Yep.
We've seen soccer players in Europe owning soccer teams in Europe as well at different levels,
Yep.
right? But one thing that entrepreneurship will tell you is repeat. You gotta be able to repeat. You gotta be able to adjust when you need to adjust. You gotta be able to reassess situations. You gotta be able to change, pivot when when you need to pivot right there
Absolutely.
and then, right? Guess who else does that best? Athletes. You do that every day in a game,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
There's been so much relationship between entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, and athletes, right? I want you to talk about that from your own perspective. Like, how are you, apart from just the grind, right? How are you able to bring this discipline here, saying, I didn't work hard enough here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't want that to be my story here.
Yes.
Yes. And something else that I'll talk about is the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I say the game, yes, athletic game, playing basketball. And you might have heard this terminology. If not, I might be teaching you something today in the classroom. But I learned at an early age playing basketball that you have to play the game outside of the basketball court, the football field. What is that, Bre? What are you talking about? Well, you have to shake hands with babies, right? You have to be nice and respectful to your fans, right? You have to treat the janitor like you would treat the CEO.
Yeah.
You just have to. And so, again, man, I was hard-headed. Charles, I wish I could come on here and just say, no, but everything's always been breezy. I never learned. I never hit my head. But that would be a lie. I learned the hard way. Man, I've hit my head so many times. Basketball, even in high school, I was very good in high school. Didn't play much. But because I have favor over my life and always have, God still made a way for me to shine when I got on the court. For example, in high school, I was really good, but I didn't play the game, meaning I wasn't a very good teammate outside of the basketball court. Really didn't want to listen to the coach or even have a meaningful relationship with my coaches, let alone the booster club, any of that, right? So I wasn't playing the game off the court. You have to play the politics game, so to speak, off the court, off the field, in order to really elevate. You just have to. Your talent will only take you so far, Charles, without you being respectful, being a woman or man of integrity, giving back to the community. You have to play that game. That game is just as important as on the field and on the court. So I learned that at a young age when I just was sitting on the bench. Here I am, this talented girl who I thought, man, I was like Allen Iverson. I don't like practice, but come game time, I'm not missing a shot, right? So I'm sitting on the bench freshman year. Freshman year, I made JV/varsity, JV and varsity freshman year. So obviously they knew I had talent, but then when I got moved up, they saw that that's all I had. I didn't know how to play the game. So sophomore year, sat on the bench. Junior year, sat on the bench. Senior year, finally starting to play a little bit more. I get in. I have a lot of points first half, and I make the Kansas City Star. Playing basketball. I still got the newspaper upstairs. Me and the Kansas City Star playing basketball. Bre Dayton scores such and such 10 to 15 points out fresh off the bench or a few minutes in the game. She scores. She's on fire because of the favor that God has on my life. But had I known what I know now back then, the importance of grinding, playing the game, doing all those things that are that are necessary to elevate me, I feel like it would have been a different story. But how I transition that into business today, to get back to your question, is I play the game. Yes, I sell houses. I sell a lot of houses, with God being the glory, but also play the game. I do community events. I'm starting to do more speaking engagements. I give back. I volunteered at, Boys and Girls Club, giving back to the youth, the community, pouring into other people. You have to do that as well, just as important as selling houses or scoring the game winning shot.
There's a sense of humility with you, right? Where did that come from?
God, God, I'm nothing without God, and I've been low. I've been real low, and so I always want, no matter how high I go in life, and I hope I go high, hope I do amazing things. I always want to remember who I am, where I came from, and whose I am. I belong to God. Everything I have, everything I've built, every client I've reached, so it's all because of God. He gets all the glory, right? So, literally, my relationship with God means everything, and so that's where my humility comes from. I don't want to be humbled. I don't want the joke to be on me at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So gotta remain humble and thankful at all times.
So let's talk about the importance of failure, right? Because sometimes we forget how important failure is to anything we do in life, right? How has those early days of you not reaching what you could have achieved in high school basketball and those early failing in the beginning of the sport, right? How has that translated into what you do now? And how do you react to shortcomings now versus what it used to be?
Well, taking it back to baby Bre land, right? When I played basketball growing up, when I would fail or lose games, you're passionate about your sport, right? You're passionate about the podcast, right? I'm passionate about making a difference in people's lives and stuff. So no one wants to fail. You want to fail?
No,
I don't know. Nobody wants to
fail,
fail, right?
I
But
don't
it
like
happens. I don't like it. You said I'm a sore loser. Right, you play soccer, you don't want to lose some games, man. It does something to you on the inside, right? So I can admit, back in the day when I was playing basketball and so passionate, when I would lose games, I'd be mad. Sometimes, and I hate to admit this, sometimes I didn't want to shake the other teammates' hands. Like, at the end of the game, just good game. There's times when I just walked and didn't shake anybody's hand. But guess what? What I learned at a young age is people are always watching you.
Yeah.
People watch me be a sore loser, right? And so now, hopefully, those same people are watching me be a winner, right? And so what I've learned in preparation, in my preparation and preparing for this podcast, I kind of thought about, I'm like, I didn't know what we was going to talk about. I kind of thought about some things that I would wanted to say anyway. And one of the messages that I want to share with you in the classroom, right, in the world is, and even in this goes back from basketball days when I was a baby Bre to even now being a successful celebrity realtor that I am, you must learn to celebrate your wins and learn from your losses. Losing, failure, rejection is a part of the game, my boy. Basketball, soccer, football, real estate, whatever it is that you do, you're going to fail. But it's what you do in times of failure is going to make or break you. Okay, you can fail, you can be rejected, you're going to roll over and cry. All right, you can do that. But while you doing that, somebody else like, I'm finna get back up. I'm finna do it again. You know what I'm saying? And so I fail still. I fail still. I see it differently now, though. Failure and rejection is protection. I see it as protection. God is protecting me and redirecting me to where he would have me, which goes back to the humility thing. I want to please God at the end of the day. Yeah, I want to help people. Yeah, I want to be wealthy. Yeah, I want to have a nice lifestyle. But in the words of Nipsey Hussle, find your purpose or you wasting air. What are you doing, really? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? And so failure comes up. It's a part of the game. I just charge to the game. I get back up. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Kobe Bryant is one person. He's been my idol. Playing basketball, to now being a successful businesswoman. I really haven't got much sleep since Kobe Bryant passed away 3 years ago. Yes. And that's the truth. It's the Mamba mentality that I have within me. My boy, he went on to heaven. That mean it's up to me, right? That mean I gotta dig. I gotta put in that same work that Kobe Bryant was doing. There's a book you know, because Kobe Bryant was a lot of things. In his later years, he became an author,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He put out a Mamba Mentality book, which I have a copy of, and I have it open on my favorite page. And the page is a big shot is just another shot. That speaks so volumes to me in so many different ways. A big shot is just another shot. So how I translate that to real estate is selling a big house is just selling another house.
Yeah.
I've sold to Chiefs players. I closed some big old deals, big commission checks. Guess what? That's just me selling another house.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I would have stopped, I would have never made it there,
No,
right?
If you never sold a little house, you would have never got to
There it is. So advice I would give even aspiring agents or agents now who maybe you haven't sold your first house or you haven't hit your first big house yet. A big house or a big closing is just another closing, right? So continue to go back to what you said. Put in the work, stay consistent, grind, and do what you know you're supposed to do, and you'll shine. A big shot is just another shot, but if you don't shoot,
you will never.
You'll never make nothing. You'll never shine.
Not at all. I mean, me personally, I can relate to that in so many aspects, right? I'll just give you my side of that, which is this podcast side of things, right? I started interviewing with friends, right? So I went from interviewing people close by to reaching out to the Tahira Hines,
Joe Black,
the Joe Blacks. Joe, honestly, I didn't even know how. At this stage now, I think now I can reach out to Joe
and say, hey.
and say, hey, I want you on my podcast because I kind of built.
Yep.
The steps is there.
Yep.
To get to Joe.
Yep.
But at the time when I interviewed Joe,
he was just getting started.
I was just getting started. I was not even sure if I want to continue doing the podcast thing. And right after interviewing Joe,
it opened up doors.
No, right after interviewing Joe, I almost quit podcasting.
What?
Yes, and then
how? Why? I need answers.
Because this is what happened. This is what when I started the journey, right? People were curious. Yeah. Everybody wanted to see what I was doing. Right?
Yep.
So I took that curiosity, people's curiosity, as support. This is just gonna be boom out of here. So when I had the deep, I was not ready for that deep, right?
Yep.
So I had that deep, and I was just like, "This is it," and that threw me in a really dark place mentally, and I just
paused.
Yep. And the craziest thing in the world happened. Somebody I went to high school with, played a lot of soccer with this guy. We don't like each other. Sent me the longest message in the world that said, "Hey man,
I see you.
I know we don't like each other. I know we don't, but this thing you're doing, and with 8+1, please keep at it. I think you finally found
your niche.
What you're good at." Because he always felt like he's a better player than me, and I always see. So when he said that, I was like, "There's no way this guy
that you thought didn't like you.
This guy, if he said it, then there's something.
And there's something there, yeah."
And then another thing happened with Crystal.
Yep, I love her.
I met Crystal at Kim Key's
listening party.
And she walked up to me and said, "Charles, what's this I'm hearing that you quitting podcasting?" And I go,
"Yeah,
I'm thinking about it." She goes,
"No,
you
you're not.
You know you're really good at it." And I'm like, this person does not really know me. She does not have to tell me.
But she heard
this.
about you.
So if she is telling me this, there's something behind it.
Yep.
And then I start going around the city and people see me. "Oh, you the little African dude that does the podcast."
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, something is here. And I go back to doing it. And it's just takes a whole 360. People underestimate the Joe stamp, right?
Yep.
Swear to God.
Yep.
If I reach out to somebody that I want to interview, I used to just send Joe's interview, right?
Speaks volumes.
This is one of the interviews I did, right?
Yeah.
Joe's to hear us,
Yep.
oh, I'm quick to send you that.
Yep.
When they see it, when I send them, I don't hear from people because they want to check what this is about.
Mm-hmm.
So when they check it, they reach back out. I will do it.
Yep.
If I had not had those bumps in the in the beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would have always felt like when I had Joe's interview in my mind, this is the biggest thing I can ever do in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of almost was satisfied with
Yeah. Yeah.
with that.
Yeah. It was a celebration.
Yeah,
You celebrate
I
that.
celebrated super early.
Uh-huh.
I was halfway. The game ain't even. I was just like, okay, I'm here. This is already. I'm in the championship.
I'm in the
That's
big
it.
leagues now.
Yeah, I'm in the championship. I don't even need to. I don't need a ring. I don't need nothing.
Yep. I
And
made it.
it gave me a real rude awakening for me to realize that this grinding is not. This does not stop. He reached back out to me. It's like, do not stop this. It's like, you crazy?
Yeah.
Just randomly one day, I just texted him and he texted me back, and I just called him and he's like, man, do not stop what you're doing. Are you crazy?
Yep.
I told you my story. You
Yep.
know how I got here?
Yep.
You want to give up now? Think about.
You can't.
And he told me, he said, you know how many brilliant, he said the most wealthiest place in the world is a graveyard. And he told me this, and I was like, think about how many ideas and how many innovations that people have in their mind and never put to practice and died with.
Or they quit
And
before they took off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, today I'm sitting here with you and I'm having this conversation with you. I just had a conversation with Love Messi. I just had an interview with Isai.
Those are my people.
And
Good
never
people.
in my wildest dream would I ever. Those are not even people I have in my mind that I will ever sit down with those people and
So much knowledge and talent.
Yeah, Isai. That's literally like an idol to me because what he is doing, that's what I wanna. That's what I see myself doing.
That's what you're gonna do.
And yesterday, I'm just sitting there, just talking to him. I'm just like almost starstruck, just watching him.
Yeah.
Like
He's amazing.
Like I'm looking at some crazy stuff.
Uh-huh.
And today is here, so it's never an excuse to give up. No, do not. You're gonna hit those stumble. You're gonna have those late nights where your mind is just everywhere. But it's like you saying that alone is like just hits home to me. Like you're 100%, 1,000% right. You're 2,000% right. That is very true.
And it happens to all of us. Man, it happens to all of us. But then God sends those little messengers. Hey, you inspire me. People you don't even know.
Yeah.
You know how many messages I get from people, men and women that I don't even know?
Yeah.
Hey, I see you. Hey, when I'm ready to buy a house, it might be 5 years from now, I'm coming to you.
Oh, yeah,
Man, you just never know who you are inspiring.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to keep going.
I'm definitely buying a house from you. I'm definitely.
My dog.
I'm definitely buying a house
get
from
it
you.
out.
When
Let's
I'm ready,
go.
yeah.
Let's go.
When I'm ready, one of them
Appreciate you,
$1
boss.
million
Appreciate you.
houses. Yeah.
Man, I'm waiting on you, big dog.
I got you.
We gonna get it.
It ain't even. That's not an excuse. That's a fact. We gonna get one. But let's get back to you have so many little not little accomplishments, right? Let's call them little for now, because what's ahead for you? If we call this big, what's ahead for you? We might not be able to carry.
Let's
might
go.
not be able. We might need.
Let's go.
We might need everybody's hands
That's
to carry
right.
what's ahead. You're able to achieve a lot. You're able to. Let's talk about this right here.
That's my baby right there. That's my baby right there.
You were last year. You won the best realtor in Kansas City, right? With the Kansas City People's Choice Award.
Little Cam Sean.
Yeah. How was that?
It was a journey that didn't happen overnight. So to be acknowledged by your peers, by the town, meant everything to me. But to your point, it took a lot of work on the field and off the field. So that means, I had to sell a lot of houses and do well by my clients. And I also had to play the game outside of selling those houses, i.e. follow-ups, meaningful relationships, being in the community, giving back, giving glory to God. All those things had to happen in order for me to reach that level of achievement, being acknowledged and loved and crowned by the town. And I'm grateful. I'm honored for that. It took work. You had to market yourself. I had to market. People don't know who you are and what you do unless you tell them.
Yeah.
Now I know who you are. Oh man, you looking for a podcast? You looking to grow your brand? You looking to make a relationship? Oh man, I got to send you to my boy with EP1.
Yeah.
Classroom, easy. Are you looking for a house? Oh man, I know the perfect realtor, Bre Dayton. Hold on, I got her number. Let me see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Don't. That's not even.
That's not a question. If you need a house, we got to pause the whole. If you need a house, this is my plug. You already know Bre Dayton with Dayton Dynasty. Got you easy off the rip. But getting back to your question, a lot of work, consistency, marketing, being transparent. I had to get in front of my business. I had to be the face of my brand, right? And so, the gentleman who actually did my micro shading eyebrows, BLKC, he told me years ago when I really first started getting out into real estate, he said, you got to be transparent. And I was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? He's like, when you go sell houses, like when you go show property, get out your camera, get in front of the house. People like to see realness. They want you to be authentic. Don't hide behind a computer online trying to sell dreams. No. Hey, I'm Bre Dayton with Dayton Dynasty. This is what I do. Come, take a walk with me. It took humiliation, transparency, resistance, failure. You know what I'm saying? Getting back up, staying consistent, believing in your craft, believing in God. Vision that he has instilled in you, and being a good person. You got to be, if you do right by people, people do right by you. And I love people. Nobody's a stranger to me. I'm very outgoing. It's the third time you meet me. Now you're able to see, Bre cool, Bre outgoing. I can talk to Bre for days. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's a stranger to me. So every opportunity I see people, I introduce myself. My elevator speech is down packed. I let them know who I am and what I can do for them and how I love to stay in contact and stay in touch. And by doing that every day, it's a habit now, right? It speaks for itself now, So it took consistency. It's not gonna. This don't happen overnight. I wish it did. The Kansas City People's Choice Awards and being crowned best realtor last year. Thank y'all for everybody who voted for me, who supports me, who still supports me. Shout out to y'all. I love y'all. The whole crowd, everybody who support me. Thank you so much. But guess what? I didn't win this year. But I'm not crying and rolling over because it's always next year, right? And what God has for you is for you. God has this beautiful, lovely podcast is for you. Can't nobody steal your vision, your joy. Guess what? It won't have your touch on it. No. So they can try to mimic, mock, make fun of you, whatever. But when you are living off of your dreams, because I believe you will, and one day, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It's not on you, it's in you.
Yeah.
You can't teach this. You got it or you don't. And this is what God has for you. And this is what God has for me. And together, man, we're going to grow. We're going to elevate together.
I can't wait.
And I'll see you at the top, big dog.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait. I'm excited about what the future actually holds for people around me. Simply because I have had the opportunity to sit with some real winners here in Kansas City. Some people who very sooner or later will probably outgrow the city.
Yeah.
It's not the most encouraging thing to say about the city, but it's just the truth, right? Sooner or later, the space that they're going to be able to occupy is going to be at a national stage, right? So it might be, Kansas City might be home, but they might step outside of Kansas City for a little bit and come back.
You almost have to. In the entertainment music industry, if that's what you're talking about, you have to.
You have to.
You have to.
It's out of necessity, right?
Yep.
But just sitting and watching these people and getting to know them, getting to know how much talented they are. I mean, that from the beginning, but who they are as a human being, right? And you read that, you see that just dealing with them, and I can't help but be excited for what next 2, 3, 4 years have in store for them.
Yeah.
And that in itself is so rewarding to me as an individual, because now I'm looking at that like, okay, this person definitely this person's mind is definitely in the right place, right? this person has a plan. I know the plan is in place, right? Right mindset, right plan, just waiting on time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you in this equation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of these people, sooner or later, they're out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you mess up with that? I mean, I'm not saying I have to be there, but
Mm-hmm.
what on my own side, as a man, as a human being, what am I putting in place to have a shot at that, at what's next, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I only look at that from that light, and I'm like, they worked hard. This do not take. This is not a 2-day thing,
At all.
1 year thing.
At all.
So now it's my responsibility to also bring a seat to that table and say, hey, this is my seat in this table. This is what I'm bringing to this table. That you might need, you might need, you might need, you might need.
That's
Yes,
right.
I need you, I need you, I need you. But this is what I bring
That's right.
to the table, and that sometimes gets forgetting out of the way. A lot of people want to be carried along. People want to be dragged and carried along. Even with you, right? You can speak on that. You did not just become a realtor just because your mom is a legendary realtor. That's not how this thing works.
Mm-hmm.
You had to put your feet down
Mm-hmm.
and actually
Put in the work.
stumped into the mud and to get out of it in order to get to where you are right now. So I speak on that a little bit because I think I don't want this whole thing to be, I don't want that. We're talking about so many great things, but I want that to be highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
I want to separate the two. You who you are, she's a legend. She's done everything you can think of. She's done.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom has built
Mm-hmm.
all these years, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To now take it from here and take it to the next level. It's already, the bar is already like
Set.
it's high.
Yeah.
How much pressure do you have on your shoulders to take this from there and take it to the next thing?
Oh Lord. Well, you said a lot there, and when I say you said a lot, my life in general and both of my siblings can speak to pressure being on us. Just really briefly, my daddy has been a legend in the community. And my mom is a real estate idol here. She's done a phenomenal job laying the foundation for our company, Day Dynasty Real Estate, which is a Black-owned real estate company here in Kansas City. So the pressure that's on my shoulders to take it up a notch. Yeah, there's pressure. Pressure comes with the game. And my mom has been a realtor well over 30 years. How I even got into real estate is my mother, the queen, volunteered me to get into real estate. So you know what volunteer means. She volunteered me and she told me.
Yeah.
Didn't give me an option. I was in corporate America for 9 years. So shout out to 8+1 podcast, 9. You hear me? For 9 years. I thought, I don't have any kids. I'm not married. I was stacking my bread. I'm like, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Money good. I'm blessed. I'm good. Why do I want to leave corporate America? Like, I have a really nice paying job in corporate America with all these benefits. She volunteered me to get into real estate. She said, Bre, you're very outgoing. You have a heart for the people. People love you, adore you. You're naturally exciting. You have good energy. You would excel well in this real estate business. I'm hard-headed, like I told you earlier.
Yeah.
So even saying that, I was like, nah, I'm cool. I already know my job. I'm good at it. I was good at the corporate job. I'm good at it. No, I'm a fix. I didn't want to change. Nope. I don't like change. Nope. She kept telling me to get into real estate. And so, honestly, since I've been in real estate, it's been very natural to me.
Yeah.
I feel like it is my calling because it comes easy. Not to say that I don't fail, that I don't get rejected in this game of real estate, because I haven't received every offer that I've submitted for clients and this and that. But for the most part, I'm able to fully be my true, real, down to earth, cool, breezy self, and I'm just fortunate that the people rock with me. The community, the town, people rock with me because I'm authentic. I'm real. The pressure, getting back to your question, that's on me to take it up. I'm not gonna say it's no pressure at all. I'll give you an example. When I first got my real estate license, my mom showed me how to be a realtor the old-fashioned way. This is what I'm getting to as
Yeah.
no pressure at all. The old-fashioned way. So she taught me how to do everything the hard way. And I was able to easily, fresh up, like, soon as I became a realtor, got my license, okay, joined the company with mom. All right, what we doing, mom? What's your vision? What's your plan? Okay, cool, easy. Let me show you how we can do this. Because of the natural creative in me. I'm able to use my gifts and my talents, which I'm very creative. I have a vision. God gives me a vision like he's given my mom a vision. So we're able to partner and work together to make Dayton Dynasty what it is. And Kansas City really hasn't seen nothing yet because we're growing and glowing every day. We still going up. But I have been able to make my broker, my mother's life easier by letting her know, hey, you can do everything online. Like, why are you having me filling out papers and going clear across town to meet up with other agents to get checks and to sign documents and contracts? You don't have to do that. So I was able to do my research like a millennial would and put in systems and protocols, like we talked about early, systems in place that will work for us. So that's what I've been able to bring to Dayton Dynasty off the rip is, hey, mama, have you heard about this software that allows us to do this, and this from on a beach, like you said, from out of town. We could be on a yacht. We could be right here in the comforts of our own house serving the community. And so I've been able to do that. Marketing, all kind of marketing that you see on Dayton Dynasty and several of the realtors pages, that's all me. That comes natural. I see how I want things to be and I execute. So I'm able to do that. So basically, in terms of the pressure, I'm able just to be my true, authentic, creative self and just create. Entrepreneurs, we are creators.
Yeah, we are.
So it's no pressure in that regards. I actually don't feel much pressure at all because I believe this is my calling and God got my back.
You know, systems builds dynasty, right? It's no Nike has something called the Nike way, right? Marriott has something called the Marriott way. These big dynasty corporations that are so big, the biggest, the more you think, the bigger the company, they have something called the Marriott way. The what is the
Dynasty, Dayton Dynasty way.
what is the Dayton Dynasty way?
God.
How do you operate? How are you able to operate with mom, right? And you're able to separate. Your sisters walk with you as well, right?
No,
No?
I walk independently. What I mean by that is I am the only Dayton woman, other than outside of my mom, Dayton's sister, that is in real estate. Both of my sisters have their own niche. One is an actress, model, mother, wife. The other is a corporate woman, top sales executive. She is a business owner herself. She owns Gliss by Bre. Shout out to Gliss if you need home decor, wedding decorations. Plug my sis, Gliss by Bre. And then also the Dynasty event space. She owns her own event space as well. So mom and dad taught us how to fish at a young age. We are beautiful. Me and both my sisters are beautiful, sharp women. We're all college educated. We all have our bachelor's in business or financing or accounting or one of those categories. But our parents taught us how to fish at a young age, so we won't be dependent on a husband or a spouse or anything to provide the lifestyle that we are obviously accustomed to living. And so
how are you able to walk with mom, right?
I walk with mom.
And be able to create that fine line, because being partners is one thing, but at the same time, that's mom.
Yeah. Okay, so walk with mom, but yet be my own independent person as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me talk about that. That is a thing. Dayton Dynasty Realty is our brokerage. It's our company, similar to Keller Williams, Reese Nichols, Platinum. That is the brand, the company name. The broker is Robin Dayton, my mother, and I'm a realtor. Now, although my mom is the broker, meaning she holds her real estate license, she is also a salesperson. She also is still selling houses. She is. And so, although I do a good job, I like to say I do a good job selling houses, mom has me beat by far. She's still selling houses every day, left and right. And I'm not to say that lightly at all. She is a bad mamma right? How am I able to walk with her, but yet independently? being transparent. Goes back to what I said about being transparent. Me getting in front of my business. Yeah, my mom is dating Dynasty, but so am I. And let me show you what I bring to the table differently. To answer that question, I created red carpet closings behind you. A vision that God gave me in the late night hours, like I said, the 1, 2 a.m. in the morning when my brain can't stop thinking and ideals are flowing. And I saw red carpet closings. Making it a celebration. That's what separates me from every realtor in Kansas City. You come to Bre Dayton with Dayton Dynasty and it's a party, baby. Best believe that. We're going to take care of business. I'm going to negotiate the best deal for my clients, sellers, and buyers. However, I'm going to celebrate your wins with you like no other realtor in Kansas City will. What do I mean by that? I literally physically lay out the red carpet for my clients. No matter if you're buying a $100,000 house or $1 million house, I treat the janitor like the CEO. I treat normal buyers like my Chiefs players. Period. So not only do I lay out the red carpet, that is my brand. I'm known as the red carpet closings. I bring champagne to the party, gifts, surprises. It's a true celebration because I am really, really, truly proud of my clients. Purchasing real estate, Charles, is the biggest investment that a lot of people make in life.
Yeah.
So even breaking that down, it deals with money, right? How often do people act funny whenever you owe them $1 or they borrow some money? They quick to borrow some money, but when it's time to get your money back, people they might unfriend you, they may block you, they might get a restraining order on you, they might move out of town, change their number. People act funny when it come to money, right? It'd be $1. That's my dollar. So what's up? Right? Just keep in mind, I deal with millions of dollars. People trust me to spend their money, hundreds of thousands of dollars to $1 million. That's a lot. That's more pressure than you know what I'm saying, separating myself from moms or anything, right? People trust me to guide them through the biggest investment and purchase of their life.
Buying a house is a huge commitment.
It's not, and it's scary to some people, right? So they trust me to that's another story for another time. But the job and the true role of a realtor is not just to sell you a house or sell you a dream. There's so much that goes involved, with encouraging people and talking people off the ledge and holding deals together when deals have fell apart with confidence and grace, right? But going back to your question, how am I able to separate me from moms? I'm different, and I'm me. Just like me and you are different. You could be a realtor, but you won't be like me because you're not Bre. It's in me. It ain't on me. It ain't nothing I could teach. It's what God has for my life. It's for me, right? He gave me this vision, red carpet closings, and a celebration, and I've been able to execute it. And that's another thing. When God gives you a vision, execute it or you lose it. Somebody else will get rich off your idea. Right? And so that has become my brand, red carpet closings. So that's how that's one of the ways I'm able to separate myself from mom, but also my marketing I'm genius. My marketing on social media is genius. How I create my reels. I do everything just like, you have your own production. I have my own production team, and it's me, myself, and I. It's my vision that God gave me and me putting that hard work behind it time after time. When I have my closings, I bring my red carpet ropes and all that. I do all that by myself. And so I say that to say I go the extra mile for my clients each and every time.
Yes.
You can bet your money on that. Yeah. So that's one of the ways. And also, I'm just cool, man. I'm just a breeze. So that separates me from other realtors because they're not me. Respectfully. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Watching from afar, right? I do not do real estate, but I understand exactly when you say it's a huge investment, it's millions of dollars of people, and you have to guide them through. Some of those things that's not real estate. That's just you as a human being, as who you are. You know what I mean? Just making sure at the end of the day, I'm doing the right thing, and the right thing is making sure this person is well taken care of.
Absolutely.
From a client to an investor, a client to a realtor relationship. You know what I mean? And that goes way beyond any interview or any social media post can get you. Just word of mouth. I bought a house from her, and this is exactly what she did.
Yep.
And that's the person to go to. That validation alone.
Agreed.
Is bigger than anything anybody else could ever say or do. You know what I mean? So you having that alone at the back of your mind speaks highly of just who you are as a person, and and
Thank you.
you appreciate it. You appreciate
Thank
it.
you so
And I
much.
want to ask, what in today's real estate market, right? Recently, we've seen interest rates flying up the flying off the ledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of talk, internet talk, this, that, the thought, right? But I want to know your perspective on this. There's a lot of talk about instead of buying your first property, people will say your first property should always be an investment property instead of a place to live, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that something true? Is that correct? Is that the correct way of going about this or no? What do you think?
Yes. Yes. Yep. Um,
So,
that's my answer. So I'm I'm a landlord.
mhm,
I own property. I have tenants in them. I live in my parents' mansion. Yeah. So that is what I would encourage a younger me to do.
mhm,
Purchase real estate as an investment property
mhm,
first. Um, if you desire to um, have a softer life,
mhm,
to your point, stuff that you didn't learn in the classroom in school, life teaches you.
mhm,
Can I be real?
mhm,
People that look like us,
mhm,
we are always late in learning
mhm,
the business side of everything.
mhm,
We late. They didn't teach us this. This
mhm,
stuff that mom and dad when they was younger, when we were young, they didn't know to teach us, right? So yeah, to your point, that is a very smart thing to do. Make your first FHA loan a multifamily unit, duplex, townhouse, fourplex, triplex. Yes, it's very important. You can live in one of the units, rent out the other.
mhm.
You know, that's very smart.
What's your definition of a good realtor?
A good realtor.
Mhm,
Definition of a good realtor is one who has your back.
mhm,
Period. Flat out. Um, Obviously, as a realtor, I went to school,
mhm,
so I know more, or I should know more than the average person.
mhm,
So a good realtor guides you. Um, I believe in prayer. I'm a child of God. I
mhm,
believe in Jesus Christ and God, not the universe, none of that stuff. And so I incorporate prayer in my business.
mhm,
Very important. So to me, a good realtor will pray for you, will pray. And when I say pray for you, what God has for you is for you. They
mhm,
won't pressure you to purchasing a house just because it's gonna make them the most commission or do
mhm,
no, no, no. They're gonna put you first. They generally want to see you and your family happy and
mhm,
satisfied with your purchase, whether
mhm.
you buying or selling. And so they're gonna do what's best for their clients. That's what a good realtor would do. They would guide you, pray for you, and negotiate the best deals on both sides for you. And then after that, the follow up is crucial. Once you close a deal, you maintain that relationship and you follow up because by now, hopefully, you've built a friendship,
Mhm.
a foundation. Hopefully, some might become family after that. You want to stay in contact with them and truly care about your clients going forward because they turn into repeat customers. And that's how, or clients, that's how my mom has been very successful in real estate well over 30 years because she has repeat clients. And also, if she sells, and mom she'll come out here and tell you this, but if she sells to the mom or the dad, best believe she's going to get the daughters, the sons, the cousins, the friends after that, because she's going to do a phenomenal job with taking care of the clients that she first gets and so forth. And so all that is very, very important.
So the idea is not to sell; it's to build a relationship.
There it is. Period. Real estate in general, whether you're residential, commercial, you're an investor, it's all about relationships. If you don't know how to treat and talk to people, you're not gonna go far. Period.
So another scenario, right? We will say Joseph.
My dog. That's Joe Black. Shout out to my cousin. That's my cousin. Shout out to my cousin. You know how we do. Shout out to the
So,
district family. All of that. Gotta plug y'all. Yeah.
so here's Joseph, right? Joseph has, let's say, 700 is credit score, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lives in an apartment. Never bought a house, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Joseph is looking to buy a house, what does he do?
Contact Bre. She'll take care of the rest. If you're looking to buy a house, anybody out there, all you got to do is call me. We have a 15-minute consultation, which is free. Map out a plan designed for you, and we're going to handle the rest. But to your point, if Joe wants to buy a house, all they got to do is call Bre, and Bre was going to guide you. I'm very detailed. So no matter if somebody comes to me and they've already purchased a house, or if they're looking for me to sell a house, I still go over the basics. I don't assume people know anything, right? And I don't make people feel small. I go step by step to make sure people fully understand the process, the terms, what we need from them, what's expected from me. I walk them through the whole entire process until we reach the finish line. So if anybody is looking to get a house, call me. We're going to map out a plan designed specifically for them, and we're going to work that plan.
So usually what do the people need?
So good question. In order to be qualified, say they're going to be financed to purchase a house, meaning you're not paying cash, you want to use other people's money to purchase a house. Qualifications needed to be pre-approved is generally a 620 credit score or higher. You have to have money saved up. You have to be on your job or employed for 2 consecutive years in a row, and you have to have the desire to want to purchase real estate. If you meet all of those things, 620 credit score, a little money saved up for a down payment. We do have down payment assistance programs if needed. And then you've been on your job for 2 consecutive years and you have a desire to get into real estate. You need to talk to me. Give me a call. I will point you in the right direction for a lender, a loan officer to get pre-approved. Once you're pre-approved, that is the ticket that I use to negotiate and get you in a house. Yep, we have this amount of money for the purposes of purchasing a house. So those are the steps you'll need to do. Once you contact me, take you through the loops, and we'll be at the finish line in no time. Easy.
I can sit here and talk to you for the whole day. I like your energy.
Thank you.
I like your energy. I like you are every time I all the 3 times I met you, right? I met the same person all.
Yes, let's go. She don't switch up.
I met same person all the time. It's crazy.
I might have a different fit on. I might be dipped in butter one day. You know what I'm saying? But off the rip, yeah, you gonna get the same breezy on the inside though. On the inside, we good. We good in every room. Right,
I can sit and talk to you for the whole day, and I just appreciate the fact that I have the opportunity to sit down and talk to you, right?
Thank you.
And I just wish sometimes, like people like you, right? I wish people like you to do this more, because you have the information, right? Like you said earlier, people of our color, we always late to the party. Right?
Yep.
Those that have the information like you, I would love for you to speak up. I would love to see you at other platforms, right? I would love for you to go and sit down and have these conversations with
on panels and in front of people
in front of people. I mean, I like the exclusive. You know what I mean? I'm the only one who got this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time,
it's coming.
How much good does that do?
Yeah.
For somebody who might not know about my podcast. You see what I'm saying? Information is as good as the person that got it.
Yeah.
If it's in a book somewhere and nobody read it, it makes no use, right?
Yeah.
So I would love to see you do these things more. Panel discussions. Put something together.
Okay.
Where people can just come and sit down
and just soak up knowledge.
And just soak up these things, because we can't all just sit and we can't all just
sit down with me.
This rent in these apartments, and there's no leverage in this. 5 years of rent in an apartment, if you do the math on how much that is,
it's money down the drain is what that is. That's the math. That's the calculation.
At Kansas City, at most you're spending more than $12,000 a year, because rent in an apartment, $12,000 a year in rent. That's if you are paying $1,000.
Yeah, that's minimum.
$1,000 rent.
Yeah.
So the information is there. The resources is there. I mean, I just wish
it's coming. For me, I can speak for only myself. Remember how I said early on, timing is everything.
Yeah.
You are the one of the you like the only people I've allowed to interview me.
Hmm.
I've been in magazines and local magazines and stuff. They've highlighted that. I just sent them, who I am, what I do, but nobody has ever really been able to sit down and have a conversation with me. Um, God had to do some inner work in me first
Yeah.
to get me
Yeah.
to where
You're
I'm at
ready.
today.
Yeah.
And
You're
I
right.
and I do say that I am ready now, and I'm about to let God use me in a
Hmm.
magnificent way.
Hmm.
This gonna change many, many lives.
Hmm.
Those platforms that you speak of, and even bigger platforms, I do see for
Yeah.
myself in the future.
Yeah.
And I'm working on that now. I got some big things in place that I'm working towards, as it pertains to real estate
Hmm.
and just in general.
Hmm.
I know without a doubt one of my purpose and calling is to be a motivational speaker worldwide. So that's actually what I'm working on now. You mentioned earlier you play pro basketball. Yeah, I joined the pro basketball team, and at one point of my life, I worked for District record label in Kansas City, and I had to let both of those things go because of the purpose and calling that's on my life in particular.
Hmm.
God was just pulling me in a different direction, and again, that direction is teaching.
Hmm.
I do have a lot of knowledge. I don't know it all, no,
Hmm.
but I do have a lot of knowledge that can change the lives of many people.
Yeah.
And so I'm working to get on those stages to be able to share things with people to help get them to be who they are supposed to be. So
You know, it's one thing to be doing so much, right? But it's also another thing to be able to the ability to let go when it's time to let go is a really beautiful
of
skill.
control.
It's a really beautiful skill that people struggle with a lot. Just district, that's a cool thing to be a part of,
It
right?
was. It was.
Basketball, being a professional basketball player, that's a cool thing to do, right? But getting to know when to take a step back and say, hey, let me get rid of this, because let the main thing be the main thing. The ability to do that alone in its own is a blessing, man. There's not too many people who are able to do that, and I'm just impressed. I'm super
Thank you.
super impressed,
Thank you
man.
so much.
I appreciate you big time. Just you giving me this opportunity to just sit here and get to know you, and also not only that, just to invite me in your space. I mean, this is your space. This is your thing, and it's a blessing to me.
I'm glad to have you here.
I appreciate every single bit of it, man. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me. I'm humbled. I'm blessed. This is big for me because I don't like this part. I get emotional and I'm not
Let
into
it
that.
out, man. Let it out.
This is an African kid who grew up in Africa in some really horrible situations, right? And I come to America, and in my wildest of dreams, I want to start a podcast with an accent, some words I still struggle to pronounce, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when people like you look at it and like, I want to be a part of this, right? Sometimes it's like a dream. Sometimes it's like a movie. Like, is this real? You know what I'm saying? And it just tells me that there's so much we all have to do. There's a lot of teaching and a lot of spaces that we all have to occupy individually in order to get to the collective goal
Yeah.
for all of us. And you are a very huge pillar in that. You're laying the foundation down for yourself. The other day I like to repeat this a lot in my interviews. I'm watching Angie Martinez and Mike Tyson had a interview.
How was that?
Oh man, one of the best interviews I've ever seen.
I'll have to go back and watch that.
Oh man, and Mike Tyson looked at Angie Martinez and said, "Who has done what you're trying to become?"
Has
Right?
done what you're trying to become.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I flipped it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, "What am I doing now so somebody else can?"
Wants to become you.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good.
and when I started flipping it and looking at things from that light, right, and I'm like, okay, so Bree has left a corporate job to pursue a passion, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's done what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, what am I going to do, and what am I going to do respectfully for somebody to be able to say, I want to be what Bree does? it has to be done in a very respectful way, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do I do that respectfully for it to be honorable enough for somebody else to wanna be, to wanna see that and emulate that?
Mm-hmm.
And you, my friend, you are doing just that.
Thank you.
And I want to end
Thank you so
just
much.
interview by just telling you, you are doing just that. Keep your feet right where is at.
Yes, sir.
You are the part. You're This is something special.
Thank you so much.
This is something I have sat down with so many different people and had so many different conversations, and this is real. This is as real. This is as real as they come.
Thank you
This is
so
beautiful.
much.